So I'm about to cover the album covers by Journey and Boston. And then I'm going to come back to these sun tunnel images because it looks like I found a way to transfer them a little bit better without getting all the lines. So of course we'll look at that one, and this one, and this one. But even for the old viewers that have seen them all, there's images that I'm about to show that have not been seen yet. The new images are before it gets fully engulfed in the plasma bands that surround it, and the craft that are transiting through it are clearly visible. There's a point at which the plasma bands only go 3/4 the way around it, and up here at the top left, they seem to terminate right there. And there's one of these craft right there on the line. I'll get you a better shot of it. It's right there. And because these plasma bands terminate right on the line where one of these craft is transiting the portal, a little hard to see there because of the focus and zoom and whatnot. But it's right there on the termination line where those plasma bands stop. And the other thing I'll be pointing out, you'll notice 6 sides. One here, one here. Throughout this whole video, when we do the sun tunnel images, you'll be seeing 6 sides, a hexagonal sun. And I've already put them in a sequence where it shows you the sun going from a regular looking sun to having one magnetic flux line broken here, and again 6 sides, flat on top. There's a side. There's a side. There's a side. And there's another side down here. So my point is though, here's one broken magnetic flux line. 2 broken magnetic flux lines over here, one going this way and one going vertical. Again, you can see the hexagonal 6-sided sun. And last, but definitely not least, is this circle right here that has a triangle within the middle of it. And had I seen that all by itself, I would probably make nothing of it, but considering it was in the same 6 seconds as the other 4 craft that we can see transiting this sun tunnel, and unfortunately, it's like the closer you zoom in on it, the less visible it becomes. And it's almost actually more easily visible in the Ken Burns effect where it zooms in and out. I'll include a link in the description that has that effect on it. But first we're going to go over some album covers. Here's Boston, Don't Look Back, or you get turned to a pillar of salt. And notice there is a city up here under a dome. Spaceship Earth. Here's another one. This could be that plasma sphere spoken of in my most recent video where it talks about the sun here is used as the portal into our world. Here's another Boston album cover. And another. And another. Now we're going to get into the Journey album covers, and this one has the scarab beetle all over it on almost every one. Notice this one is titled Departure. Trial by Fire. So this is the scarab beetle, and that is the blue kachina, red kachina, which are the destroyers, Shiva's serpents. We'll talk about John X. Army and how he was talking about Shiva's serpents. There's the scarab beetle again. There was a couple other things. Oh, Age of Aquarius, pouring the water. Anyway, you can look into these and decode some of the symbolism. Scarab beetle again. I think this one's titled Escape. I've got another picture of it. And this one I'm not sure about. Mastodon, it just happened to pop up, so I thought I'd grab a screenshot of it too. Yes, this one's called Escape. It says it right there. Evolution and Eclipse. So now when you see it turn from beetle with scarab wings to something more like that, you can see how when he says Madonna's up there on stage and what looks like bird feathers or bird wings is actually insect wings. That appears to be what is being portrayed here on the Journey album covers. And again, mechanical metallic wings on the beetle body. Escape and Evolution. There might be a repeat in there, like that one in the middle. But I don't think we've seen this one yet. Or that one. Infinity. Here we have Escape once again, and Captured and Frontiers. Are you seeing like that they were dropping some major truth drops here? And that is Worlds Without End, the Endless River, the hologram, a picture within a picture within a picture, the fractal nature of our reality, and again the scarab beetle. There's a little better shot of the Escape. And Journey. Seems a bit transhumanish, doesn't it? I'm sorry, Frontiers, that's what I meant to say. Looks like they were telling us about transhumanism before transhumanism was a word. Now this one is the most difficult to see, even without filming phone to phone. But you've got the car in here as a size reference. Of this circle with the triangle in it. One line here, one line here, one line there. And if that were by itself, I would have never saw it. And even if I did, I'd have thought nothing of it. Can you see it? Now you see it? It's there. A little bit difficult to see, but there nonetheless. And here's the tail of the car. This may be one of our craft, chasing the others out the tunnel, shooting them at the bottleneck. So I have a meeting set up with a guy who's got some tech skills that might be able to help me do this a little better. See it? Center screen? Right there. There's the tail end of the car back there. That's it, center screen, but it's a bit difficult. Circle, triangle. You can see it, right? Gives you a size reference to the car that it's near. So now we're going to get to the fact that that's a 6-sided sun. The link in the description titled TR3 Space Force Transiting the Solar Portal puts all these images in approximate sequence where the sun goes from looking like a somewhat normal sun to having this one magnetic flux line broken around it. Here you can see it's got another magnetic flux line over there broken to the left of the sun. That the sun has 6 sides, and in this one you can't see the triangle craft within the circle or either of the circle dot craft, but you can always in each and every one see this guy that I've titled Death Star. Now there's a good chance that that triangle within a circle is one of these guys over here. There's one there, center screen, one there, and one there. And this one here. So these are all still frames that I took from a 19-second video that for a full 6 seconds, the sun had these bands around it. And at no time did I catch the circle within a triangle in the same screen as this one or this one, but this one's in every scene. So that triangle within a circle, because it was down low with the backdrop of the mountains right here, that's why you could see what's in the middle. When it's up here, it takes the look of whatever's behind it. Because the anti-gravitational technology creates a sphere of anti-gravitational lift, and if it's in the clouds, it looks the color of the clouds. If it's in the rainbow bands, it takes the color of the rainbow. There is technology out there, you can buy it online, where it bends the light around you and you get a blurry image of whatever's behind you, and you literally disappear behind this piece of plexiglass. This anti-gravitational technology bends the light. That's why you see approximately whatever's behind it. And when that one was over here with the mountain as the backdrop, that's probably why we could see the triangle in the middle. Otherwise, it looks like a circle with a dot in the middle. Or, if it's nestled in the clouds, it looks like the Death Star. Or if it's got the mountain as a backdrop, it looks like a triangle within a circle. Right there. You can see the triangle is pointed down toward my finger. My bad. So you can see it almost better at a distance than when you're zoomed in close. But we'll keep going to a further distance. That one might be a little tough, especially screen to screen. But you can still see it there, right? Oop, wrong end of my pen. Right there. If I could hold my pen still. So at any point when I got a still frame with the circle and the triangle craft behind the car there, you can always see the Death Star, but never did I catch that circle with the triangle craft down here. In the same scene as either of those circle dot craft. So this could actually be the same exact craft as what we see up here, and it had simply moved from here to up here. In this image, you can see the Death Star. You can see the one above the clouds very clearly. And you can see the one below the clouds not as clearly, but it's there. Along with the Death Star. In this scene, you can see the Death Star over here in the corner. You can't see the one down below, and only very vaguely can you see one up high, because these are all still frames that were taken from within 6 seconds of that video. So that's why I'm going to just go through and show you these somewhat randomly. In no particular sequence. We see the Death Star there in the middle, but it doesn't appear that any of the other craft are anywhere to be seen. Oh, never mind, there's the triangle within the circle. So because that triangle within the circle was taken within the same 6 seconds that you can see these other craft transiting. Again, there's the Death Star. And there's the triangle within the circle. Like a dogfight between Space Force and someone else. And that is why every space agency has the triangle within a circle as their logo. Right up to Star Trek, the emblem, the insignia on their uniform looks like that triangle within a circle. NASA, there you go. Because of the lighting and angle, you can see it pretty good right there. And 90%, if not 100% of all other space agencies have a stylized triangle within a circle. And we've seen images of a TR-3B on an aircraft carrier, and it has zero aerodynamics. It's a big old bulky triangle with no aerodynamics, which means that's not how it gets around. It's got some sort of other form of propulsion, like anti-gravitational technology. See it here? This one I'm not sure. Oh, I see it here. Because the camera's tipped a little bit. Anyway, here, there's one line, there's the other line, and there's the back line, and there's the circle around it. And it's not more visible when you zoom in. Here. And you can see the tail end of the car on the lower left. Here. Center screen. And that's almost why it's better in Ken Burns effect, because it zooms in and out and your eye has to track it and catch it again. And because you have to track it and catch it again, and you're able to with each time that the Ken Burns effect goes from another angle to another zoom and keeps moving it across the screen, and each time you can lock your eyes onto that same spot, it convinces you that you're not just imagining things. I can see it, but I don't know if the camera can. It's right there. And that's not a good depth. Yoink. So even though that's the least visible, as you can see, I'm kind of focusing on it a lot, because it's there, and it is the least visible, and it is what takes you the longest to convince yourself that it's actually there. Circle, triangle. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Sorry, I don't mean to be redundant, but considering the content that we're going over here, and this is the future of humanity, the current present situation of humanity, that's becoming a reality far quicker than anyone could even possibly imagine. So in this one, you can see the magnetic flux lines are broken, but there is no circle, triangle, and no craft up here that we can see. And again, there's probably things in here that I haven't seen yet. These are just still frames that I took. Again, 6-sided sun simulator. In this one, you can see one there, right there. And the one below is actually more visible than the one above. In most of them, it's the other way around. But we always have our friend here, who's just parked in the clouds. This one shows the 6-sided sun simulator pretty good. Until I do that. Okay, moving on. This one's at the beginning where there's only a smaller break in the magnetic field. But again, it shows the sun simulator, 6 sides, but the sides aren't always seemingly in the same position. In this one, the flat is almost directly up. Broken magnetic flux line. Death Star dude. Chilling in the clouds. And as you can see, I took it hanging out my car window. See, totally 6 sides there. Oops. And here, it has no apparent plasma bands around it, like it hadn't even started transitioning yet. But you can still see old Death Star dude right there in the clouds. He's there the whole time. And I just looked, and I wasn't able to find the circle with the triangle over here, but that's a different car. That's a van. In the one where we can see the triangle within a circle, it's like a Toyota Camry. Here, this is where the plasma band termination line ends, right on one of these circle dot craft, which tells us these craft are interacting with the braking magnetic field in the opening of that portal. And then if you start to really look close and stretch your eyes, this one's obvious. There might be a couple others in the clouds. There seems to be a circle here with a dot in the middle, but more like a two-dimensional flat circle. Let's cruise on back for a minute. Here we go. This is where you can see that those plasma bands around the sun only go 3/4 the way around. And right at the termination line, I don't know how well that's helping, but right at the termination line, there's one of these craft at the exact point where the plasma bands stop. Right there. That's not really catching the whole thing. And you can clearly see a corner right there between this straight line and this straight line. Hexagonal sun simulator, and that straight line and this straight line matches the straight line on the top and this straight line right here. That didn't help. Here's just a little bit closer up, cropped in. Which makes it a little easier to see the circle dot craft transiting right there where the plasma bands come to an end. And as always, Death Star dude. I think we already did these. Here you can see the one above. And not the one below. And you can see that the sun is fully engulfed all the way around 360 degrees with these plasma bands. And the angles. Now I don't know how well it's going to come out, but when you zoom in on these plasma bands, they look very interesting. We'll have to try and get that going here in a second. Not even sure which direction we were going on the screens. So this is just one of the screenshots I took on my way up. And the Death Star dude is right there. Nothing else in the picture. And that's the thing. Some of these still frames, there's a couple cars in the picture to give you a size reference. Some of these still frames got shot by accident because I was leaning on the edge of the car door and it was pressing my volume button, which took still frames while the video was recording. So that's the Toyota. That's the triangle within a circle, covered by the plasma bands. So it's a little more difficult to see in that image, but it's there. I think we already covered this one, and I'll have to get a better presentation going maybe when I get the screen share feature available. Now here, the one above the cloud line is more visible than the one below. They're about equally visible. And you got their buddy over here too. There they are, transiting the Stargate. Are they scarab beetles? Are they going back to their insectilian home world? Oops. What do you think? See the plasma bands in this one? These little wavy bands right here? That's a pretty good example of the plasma bands, like I was saying. In fact, that's picking it up really well. Let's go check this one out while we're at it. In fact, let's circle around this whole sun. Like a hall of mirrors. Let me find you a better plasma band. Huh? Plasma bands. Major plasma bands. Let's just zoom in and check those out again. Oh, I'm coming up on 33:33. I'm going to have to stop the video here in just a second. Someone called me a POS because they're like, I see you holding up your sixes, because I did, you know, the A-OK hand sign or whatever. It was hilarious. These are the Space Force in your neighborhood. Okay, I better wrap it.